Hey guys, it's Raquel, and today I want to share a recent discovery. It's actually not that recent, I've been working on it for a little bit, but today I got an answer, a very, very clear, tangible answer. And the reason this topic of hating people came up for me was because I am such a match to finding people around me who say that I want to be social, but at the same time, I don't have the energy for it. I find social interactions exhausting. I am very drained when I'm around other people, although sometimes I'm energized. And so there's always this confusion when it comes to making a decision, where in terms of whether to go out or not, because part of you wants to go out and meet people, and part of you feels like being around people is exhausting and it's actually detrimental for you. And so the first thing, the summary that I have come to on this topic is that the reason that we are exhausted when we go out and socialize, it's not necessarily because you're an introvert. That's actually like a more modified state of being. The reason that I discovered today was resistance. You're not actually in the flow when you're around other people or in general in your life. If you were completely in the flow, you wouldn't be exhausted, you wouldn't be drained. If you let every single emotion flow through you, they wouldn't drain you because they wouldn't get stuck in you. If you went with the flow, with whatever life threw at you, so long as you're staying on the path and being focused on your North Star, then you wouldn't be drained because you wouldn't be spending energy going against the current instead of with the current. And what I find is that when it comes to interacting with people, there are two things that have come up for me that I have noticed in my clients as well. Is that number one, when you do go out and you are with people, you are resisting the fact that you are not actually comfortable with something that is happening, something that has been said, whatever has been discussed. You can be putting up with an insane amount of emotional abuse and you don't even know it, and you're just putting up with it. You can be a doormat and still be wondering why you hate people, why you find yourself exhausted after spending time with people. And this is something that, it takes a lot of emotional work. It takes a lot of time to arrive at a place where you can stand up for yourself and realize that it's not you who's wrong. There's nothing wrong with you for not wanting to be around people. There's actually, something that is out of balance in your relationships with certain people in your life. Some relationships you may have to let go of in this whole recovery journey. The second top reason that I just discovered today, in terms of resistance, how we are resisting the flow, is resisting the fact that you're an empath and someone comes into the group. And let's just say that because you're an empath or you're energetically sensitive, when they come into the group, you already know how they feel. You have a physical reaction. So let's say, for example, you have something going on in your stomach, like a pit in your stomach. You have, your arm goes numb, or you find that you start like getting a little bit shaky. You have some kind of physical reaction, and eventually you find out that this person is actually going through the same thing. If you are in a group that is fairly conscious and that is fairly, open-minded, and they are open to talk about their experiences, as opposed to talking about, whatever was on Jimmy Fallon last night. And so these people around you are going through so many emotions all the time. And we are so interconnected. You can't separate each one of us. Like, that doesn't exist. And a lot of people are not tuned into that fact because they're not empaths or they're not particularly intuitive. And so they don't see themselves as one with other people. But if you are even remotely energetically sensitive, even remotely an empath, you're gonna be screwed if you are resisting that fact. Like, you're an empath. There's no getting around to it. There's no avoiding it. Well, I mean, you can avoid it and you can run away from it, but the result of running away from that fact about your biology, who you are, how you're operating in this lifetime, you're gonna be exhausted running away from that. So I have, I guess, one tip for today is notice how much you're resisting. How much you don't want to feel what other people are feeling. How much you don't want to be present with negative emotions. How much pain you do not want to feel. How much you're running away. How much you're not standing up for yourself. How much, in general, overall, you're abandoning yourself. Just notice it. And I guess that is my mini rant for today. And I'll see you next time. Bye.